yeah, this is my hammer. Put it, you can see the hole. Put it like this and tap. Yeah, tap.
Let's get prepared.
Get prepared.
Shh.
Listen
carefully
and pay attention. My measurements, the length is 30, the high waist is 36, the skirt waist is 38, while the hip is 48. So let's go. This is my length. My length is 30. I have to measure out 4 inches for the bandless. This is the simplest way you can ever find on the net. I want to make it simple for you. Measure out 4 inches. This 4 inches is for the facing. So from here, this is the 4 inches for my bandless facing. And from here, I measured out my 30, which is the length of the skirt. I have to add 2 inches, or rather 2.5 inches for hemming allowance. This is my little space of work. Now, I measure out 9.5 inches for my hip line. This is my hip line. And on this skirt now, I want to add some sort of little design at the front, at the left hand side front. It's going to be 1 inch. So I made this to be oversized by 1 inch. My measurement is 48 divided by 4 will give us 12. I added 1/2 inch for shaping allowance, and I added 1 inch for that little design at the front. So after cutting out the pattern, I'll fold it to the front and use my affix pin and show you how to do it. So let's go. My high waist is okay. I have to measure out my skirt waist. My high waist is here, and I have to measure out my skirt waist, which is here. It's at 2.5. So my high waist is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give us 9. And I put 1/2 inch seam allowance. It will be 9.5. And I add 1 inch for that little design. It will be 10.5. So I mark. Yeah. Then here we have 38. 38 divided by 4 will give us 9.5. When I add my 1/2 inch for the seam allowance, shaping allowance, it will give me 10. And I add my 1 inch for the design, it will give me 11. So I join like this, and my hip is at 12 plus 1/2 inch seam allowance. It will give me 12.5. Plus 1 inch for the little design, it will give me 13.5. So I mark. So the design is gonna go, the shape is gonna go like this. And from here, I want it to be little pencil, little, very little. So, excuse me. So since here is 13.5, I'll have to make here like something like 12. This is it. Then I have to cut. This is my bandless skirt, and I notch here. This is the hemming allowance, and this is my beautiful skirt. So now it's time to show you how to do the little design. I have to divide my pattern into 2 and make sure I get the center. This is the center of my pattern, and from here I get my 4 inches. So look at me. From here I pick it As I am picking it, I have to make sure it is straight by this end. If it is not straight by this end, it means it is not a straight line. If you like, you can use your plumb to plumb it and make sure it is straight. Alright, don't mind me. Plumb is for the carpenters, but you can still use your plumb anyway, don't mind me. So make sure it is straight this way, and make sure it is straight this way, and it is 1 inch. Now I have to use my affix pin and show you how it's gonna look. Just very few affix pins, because I'll sew here like I'm holding it now. I'll sew it straight. Okay, you can see it after sewing here now. After sewing here, it will be like this, and you turn it to face the left. Then you use your button. This is jean button. You can find it in any market in Nigeria. This is jean button. You use your rivet machine to put it here with your rivet machine. This is the pin. You use your rivet and fix it. But if you don't have rivet, let me give you a simple or little secret of mine. When I've not got my rivet, I'll just use my hammer, put it, find the mouth, the hole, and use my hammer and tap it like this, pium pium pium, until enter. So yeah, this is my hammer. Put it, you can see the hole, put it like this, and tap. Yeah, tap tap. You see, this is my jean button. So this is how I'm gonna do it. But I have my rivet machine, so I'll use my rivet machine. But if you don't have your rivet machine, hammer. So let's draft the back pattern. So the first thing I do is to get my bandless allowance, which is 4. I mark my 4 inches slowly, 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 and get to where I want to. This is my 4 inches, and from here I get my length, which is at 30, and I mark my 2.5 inches for hemming allowance. So in case if you want to know the yardage I used 1 yard, that is 36 inches. So my high waist, this is my high waist. I measure out for my skirt waist, and my hip, measure out my hip. So the hip is at 10. This is high waist, 2.5 for skirt waist, 10 for the hip, and 30 for the length. So my high waist, as we did before, my high waist is 9 plus ½ inch. So my hip is 12 plus ½ inch is 12.5. I mark. So because I want to put that here, I'll do it 12.5 all through here, so that I'll have to add the dots that I wanted. So I mark my line. And you remember when I did the fronts, I did it 13.5 and did here 12. So I deducted 1.5. So since here is 12.5, I'll use 11 here. This is it. Fold and cut. So this is my back pattern. I have to notch here and notch here. Yeah, this is my back piece, and I'll have to dart here, and I'll get my hip cut. Thank you, my talented team. As you can see, this is so easy and simple. So please do subscribe to my channel, and please tell your friends about me. This is for the new ones that just stumbled over my video today. So for the old ones, thank you so very much. You guys are the real talented team. Thank you so much.